Tonight's game on Fox brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By HP. Services and technology help companies face, manage, and love change. And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Those camera lenses are going to be wet all night, it looks like, with the mist blowing around here on a nasty, raw evening in the Bronx. John Lieber is ready to go. He was a winner in Game 2. The Red Sox lineup: Damon, Miller up in the number 2 spot, Ramirez, the hero Ortiz, Nixon, Millar, Veritek, Cabrera, and Bellhorn down in the number 9 spot. Tim, you and I have done a lot of games here at Yankee Stadium over the years since we started together in '96. I can't ever remember this place being more alive than it is right now.
There is no question about it. John Lieber, 1-0 in this postseason, 12-3 this year at Yankee Stadium.
The 0-1 to Damon, 0-2.
John Lieber, an unusual combination. He's a ground ball pitcher, but he pitches inside also.
You know the story by now with Damon. As you look at Lieber, who's trying to get him out, his scouting report. And that record at home at the bottom, 12-3. Damon grounds it foul. Damon is 2 for 24 in this ALCS. That's an .083 average for a guy who got on base all year for this Red Sox lineup.
David Ortiz, after the game-winning hit last night, said, "I need some help. I need some help."
Damon spoils it.
And the Red Sox are looking for help from this man right here, Johnny Damon.
The urgency with the Yankees and their fans thinking this can't happen. The Red Sox can't come back from a 3-0 deficit. The last 2 nights, thrilling evenings at Fenway. That's wide. 2-2 as Damon tries to work Lieber. The Red Sox have been saying from the start of this ALCS, why not us? And the guy who's been wearing that T-shirt around every day, Curt Schilling, will be on the mound in the bottom of this first. You look at the regular season numbers for Johnny Damon. That's what makes the numbers in this ALCS all the more surprising. 304 average, all the runs, the RBIs out of the leadoff spot. Not a factor in this series yet. Full count.
Johnny Damon has said the last week has been the worst week of his baseball life. Fastball just misses from Lieber.
That's a foul ball. It hit Damon while he was in the batter's box. It rolled to Clark. And we'll have another 3-2 pitch.
Looked like it hit his right foot. Yep, hit the toe of the right foot. Immediately called foul by home plate umpire Joe West.
Got him. Damon thought he had walked, and he does an about face. Baseball fans, grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Johnny Damon was really the only guy to stretch Lieber out in Game 2. Lieber was really even better than Messina in Game 1, who was perfect into the 7th inning. He had a good at bat, but in the end, Lieber won the battle. And Bill Miller is up in the number 2 spot because he's 15 for 33 lifetime against this right-hander Lieber. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Red Sox are trying to become the first team ever to force a Game 7 after being down 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. The broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television, and that has got to hurt anytime, especially on a night like this.
We talked about Lieber being a ground ball pitcher, and he can also jam hitters. Well, he hits Bill Miller trying to come inside. Posada setting up inside. And that pitch on the outside of the right thigh as Miller is aboard.
Here's Ramirez.
Doesn't matter how you get on, it's if you get on. The Red Sox with only 2 base runners in the first 6 innings of each game played at Yankee Stadium. And that was in Game 2 against Lieber.
Ramirez with a runner on. Ball 1. David Ortiz waits to hit next. One on, one out. Ramirez, good pitch on the inside part. Strike 1.
Most pitchers believe that you have to throw hard in order to jam hitters. That's not true. You have to be accurate to jam hitters. Right on the hands of Ramirez.
Strike 2.
Again.
Shattered bat, fly ball right field. Sheffield. 2 out. Take a look at how the Yankees cover the field with tonight's Yankees defense, brought to you by State Farm. No surprises, same group, including Tony Clark over at first. You look at Jeter, who has 3 errors in 9 games this postseason. Rodriguez to his right, Cairo his double play partner, and here's the reception for David Ortiz, the ultimate sign of respect. They've seen enough of Ortiz. And so has the Yankee bullpen.
What a compliment to be booed in the Bronx.
Al, good work down there, buddy. It's good to have you back up here.
Well, thanks, guys. Not sure if you're serious or not.
I'm completely serious.
Absolutely.
1 on, 2 out. Ortiz takes high for ball 1. You look amazingly fresh for being down there in that weather.
As cold as it is, if you can't be fresh in this, I don't know.
This gets the juices flowing, and these fans here at Yankee Stadium hoping that tonight is the end of this ALCS. Ortiz grounds to Clark, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the first. Tonight's game on Fox brought to you by GMC Trucks and SUVs. We are professional grade. By Duracell, trusted everywhere. And by City Business, with real live small business specialists on the phone. That's a card you can count on. The story with Schilling, the ruptured sheath around the peroneal tendon in his right ankle. A lot of talk about him wearing high tops, that they found the right type shoes for Schilling to pitch with, and the story is he's not pitching with them, as Al showed us out in the bullpen. And the question is that the Marcaine itself that they're shooting into that ankle, or blood from the shots? But like a scene from The Natural, Schilling climbs the mound and prepares to take on this Yankee lineup. First pitch popped into right. Nixon battling the wind, 1 out. Take a look at the Yankee lineup. You know Jeter, he's out. Now Alex Rodriguez will walk to the plate, the number 2 hitter. Gary Sheffield, Hideki Matsui, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, Ruben Sierra, the DH, Tony Clark, and Miguel Cairo. See the numbers last night, 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position in Game 5. Game 3 was 4 hours and 20 minutes long. Game 4 was just over 5 hours. And then last night, 5 hours and 49 minutes long for a 14-inning affair, won by the hit David Ortiz into center.
Yankees jumping on Schilling early. Jeter swinging at the first pitch, and now Rodriguez.
We highlighted Al Leiter so much with regard to Schilling driving off that backside. That gets the attention of these fans and Alex Rodriguez. 1 ball, 1 strike. It may not be perfect as you look at a replay of this pitch up and in, but it certainly looks better on the part of Schilling driving off that backside.
Well, I agree, and it's really about tempo. Well, you could look in the face of him, too. It's about tempo. Pitchers have certain styles with their delivery and their cadence, and from right now, he's not holding back at all. He's got a good tempo, and he's being aggressive.
Up and in, and then over the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. His career in the postseason, phenomenal. Co-MVP back in 2001 in the World Series for the Diamondbacks as they beat the Yankees. He and Randy Johnson, the MVPs. The 1-2 to Rodriguez. 2-2. They're very creative around here, and that continues here in Game 6. Who will he come out as next? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. .94 miles per hour from Schilling, and his velocity in Game 1 was 89, maybe 90 at the most.
Velocity's one thing. Whether he can get on top of that splitter. He's only thrown 1 splitter. That was the 1-2 splitter in the dirt to Rodriguez.
Rodriguez steps out. Popped up foul, right side, Veritek. Out of room. You saw that guy dressed up. At least I think that was a guy dressed up as the ghost of Babe Ruth. That wasn't real. It was a guy, yeah. But Aaron Boone talked before this series started about what Derek Jeter used to tell him. He said to Aaron Boone in that 1 year here, he said, the ghost will show up here eventually, occasionally during the regular season. But come October in the postseason, they have a tendency to show up a little bit more often. Red Sox trying to win this Game 6 tonight here in Yankee Stadium, and Rodriguez is in a battle with Schilling. Still 2-2.
Well, so much is said about how important it is for a pitcher to use his legs. What Tim was saying, even velocity. Velocity isn't always the indicator as to how a guy feels. It's his command. And in the instant for Kurt, he's got good command of his fastball, but how can he get through his split finger? It's an off-speed pitch, but you still have to use the backside.
Rodriguez reaching out, lines to short, 2 down. Take a look at how Boston covers the field with tonight's Boston Red Sox defense, brought to you by State Farm. Ramirez, Damon, and Nixon in the outfield left to right, with Miller, Cabrera, Bellhorn, and Millar on the infield. Varitek doing the catching. See the infield, no errors. The only error for the Red Sox in this ALCS by Manny Ramirez last night. Here's Sheffield. Strike one. Reaching for it, a pop up. And Millar hauls it in. A perfect first inning. He made it look easy here in the Bronx. Schilling and the Red Sox through one with the Yankees no score. After the first inning in game one, Schilling had allowed 2 runs and 6 runs after 3 innings. He had a perfect first as Trot Nixon leads it off for Boston. The mist has slowed down considerably, but it is windy here at Yankee Stadium. You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in the world's finest high-definition standard. Here's a 2-0 to Nixon. 2-1. Nixon bumped up to the number 5 spot. Millar and Varitek, the next 2 hitters. To the right side, 2 bounces for Cairo. 1 out. John Lieber has not lost in 7 starts. And he and Messina have been the 1-2 punch for the Yankees so far in the postseason. He got a no decision against the Twins in game 2 of the division series, but left in the 7th with the lead and won game 2 over the Red Sox 3-1. Kevin Millar now.
One of the reasons for Lieber's effectiveness, he's not a hard thrower. His breaking ball is not particularly sharp, but it's the way he brings the arms down while the ball is still in the glove. He jumps at the hitter, nothing smooth.
0-2.
Hitters don't like that. They like to pick the ball up very freely, very quickly. Right? There.
Ball 1. Millar is on with a 1-out single. Kevin Millar has the first hit of the night. Jason Varitek will bat. 1 on, 1 out.
Watch how he snaps his arms down right there. That ball was left up in the strike zone, and Millar gets his 4th hit of the series.
Now it's Varitek. In his career in postseason baseball, Varitek at this park is a .423 hitter. He had a hitless regular season here at Yankee Stadium in '04. And a bunt. Testing Rodriguez. His throw, no good. 2 on, 1 out. That caught everybody by surprise, especially Rodriguez. And with a treacherous footing and a wet baseball, Rodriguez got nothing on that throw.
A sound play right here. A blueprint laid down the third base line, barehanded by Rodriguez. But no chance to get Varitek. Nicely done.
They had the infield covered until about 40 minutes before game time. So they tried to keep that infield grass as dry as they could. You could see that baseball was soaked by the time Rodriguez picked it up. And it's 2-on-1 out for Cabrera. He's thinking about the same thing, or at least trying to make the Yankees think about it. Ball one.
It was a good play by Veritek. It would not be a good play by Cabrera.
A chance for the Red Sox here in the second.
It's a hanging slider out over the plate. First one was a very good pitch down and away. That's a pitch that Cabrera definitely would like to have back.
There's the situation with Cabrera at the plate. 3 out of 20 in his career against Lieber. Good pitch, strike 2.
Cabrera thought that ball was going to be outside, and it stayed inside.
Two and two. Cabrera 2 for 7 in this situation. Runner in scoring position. That's Millar at second and Veritek on with a bunt at first.
Cabrera's a good fastball hitter, and you see Lieber going with all sliders there, trying to get Orlando to pull off and hit a ground ball.
And Cabrera hits a line drive, base hit into left. Millar got no jump. He had to make sure it got through, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
You see, he goes right to Cabrera's weakness. Cabrera trying to bring A-Rod in. There's a hanging slider. And that's a backup slider. You hear hitters refer to that slider like a cement mixer, where they anticipate the ball being away and stays inside. That slider right there was right down the middle. It was a poorly executed pitch. Not what Lieber was trying to do.
Millar had to hold up right there because the ball was close enough to Rodriguez to be caught. That's why he ended up on third.
So the bases are loaded for Mark Bellhorn. Not 1 RBI the entire postseason for Bellhorn. And a lot of that. Set a club record for strikeouts during the regular season. He struck out 10 times in this series against Yankee pitching.
In 20 at-bats, half the time.
Watching this series, the Yankee pitchers have just been pounding Bellhorn inside, and he keeps swinging at it. It's almost like he's swinging over. He can't see it.
Now it's 0-2.
Posada sets up away. It's actually down the middle. Unlike in Lieber's game 2, he's thrown some pitches where he does not want the ball to end up. And when you throw balls down the middle at this level, Major League hitters are going to hit it hard, like Cabrera did.
Bellhorn at this point just trying to put it in play somehow. The count stays 0-2. Last night finally broke out of it. Had 2 hits in his last 4 at-bats in the 14-inning game. The other 2 at-bats ended in strikeouts. Left side, slicing toward the seats and out of play.
Good control is throwing balls when you want to also. Not only strikes. And with the count 0-2, Lieber with the luxury of trying to get Bellhorn out on a ball out of the strike zone, preferably inside off the plate.
Bellhorn grounds to second. Cairo flips. Jeter in the middle. Lieber out of trouble. And a golden opportunity for the Red Sox in the second inning to take a lead for Schilling. Comes up with zip. Matsui coming up. Hideki Matsui first up for New York. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Matsui, Williams, and Posada against Curt Schilling, who had a perfect first. Strike one. Matsui this season against Boston in 24 games has 28 RBIs. 0-2. But what a difference, games 1 through 3 for the top 4 hitters for the Yankees. A combined .491 average. The last 2 games, the top 4 hitters have hit .146 with only 5 RBIs. Matsui a part of that. 0-2 delivery. Just missed. Two and two. Matsui leading off, sticks the bat out, pokes it into left center field. Damon is there. One away. Top of this inning, right before the double play hit into by Bellhorn, Orlando Cabrera was talking with his first base coach, Lynn Jones.
You can't get out of the way. You got to knock him over. Okay?
What prevented Cabrera from knocking Jeter over? He thought that Cairo had a chance to come in and tag him. You could see that little delay, and that prevented him from bearing down on Derek Jeter.
We've already seen in this series that Cabrera will bear down on a middle infielder, even though he is one himself, playing shortstop for the Red Sox when he pounded Cairo last night. Ball one low to Bernie Williams.
Fastball here.
2-0.
Anytime a catcher sets up inside to a left-handed hitter with a guy like Schilling, you know it's going to be a fastball because breaking balls are implied. In other words, you're not going to call for a backdoor breaking ball, particularly when you're behind in the count.
Williams pops it up. 2 out.
Well, guys, no scientific explanation as to why Curt Schilling is not wearing those high tops. The Red Sox say after all the adjustments that have been made to them over the last couple of days, he's just flat out more comfortable with what he's wearing tonight.
All right, Kenny, thanks for the report. Here is Schilling on Friday with the high tops on, but then going back to the regular low-cut shoes. And there was really no magic inside those high tops anyway. It was just something to give that right ankle more support. And for Schilling, a couple of things. If I think they found the right place to give him the shot of Markane, a better spot than they were trying before game 1. Something that hits that area better, that takes the pain away. The danger for Schilling is when that tendon crosses that ankle bone, if it were to rupture, It is a big deal for a guy about to turn 38 in November. A guy who's got a couple of years left on a contract. Right now it's just the sheath around that tendon, which is going to be repaired at the end of the season. But if that tendon were to rupture, then his pitching future would be in doubt. 2 balls and a strike on Posada. Posada trying to become the first base runner tonight for the Yankees. He'll do one better. Into right field. Back at the wall. Is the wind going to hold it up? At the wall to end the inning. He gave these fans a thrill, and with this wind whipping around in Yankee Stadium, that ball got out to the wall and died. Schilling trying to bring it back in. No score after 2. Curt Schilling used all of his body language, body English, leaning, doing everything to try to keep this ball in the park. With the wind howling in from left field, Posada had to get to the wall and fall. And now the first pitch is a ball to Johnny Damon, who struck out his first time up. Red Sox in the second got a 1-out hit from Millar, a bunt base hit from Varitek. Cabrera singled into left. Millar had to hold at third, and then Bellhorn bounced into a double play.
Johnny Damon missing that pitch by 6 inches. That top hand is flying off the bat. Totally confused.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This is one of the last guys Damon would want to see with those career numbers against Lieber. A guy who is 2 for 25 in this series. Damon the opposite way for a leadoff base hit. So Johnny Damon is on. And look at that wind blowing his hair around. There's the best indication of how much the elements are going to be a part of the night.
That hand flying off the bat, and then a check swing, and then with Lieber in the hole, that's the Johnny Damon that Red Sox fans are used to seeing. Little top hand grounder the other way.
So the leadoff man is on for the first time tonight for Boston, and here's Bill Miller. Hit by a pitch his first time, takes a ball. Miller was drilled in the leg, and then Ramirez flied out. Ortiz grounded out. Check on Damon. Damon has stolen 4 bases in this postseason. 1 for 2 in this LCS. One and one.
Pregnant, watching back home in Arizona with daughter Alexis. Amy due on November 15th. Bill Miller just hoping that Amy holds out until the Red Sox playoff run is over.
Kenny thanks. A leadoff hit by Damon. Bill Miller waits for a 1-1 delivery. And the Yankees are concerned about Damon over at first. Miller for the first time in this series up in the number 2 spot. Bounces to short. Right to Jeter. 2 out.
In the scouting report, we said a ground ball pitcher who can also jam hitters. Well, he gets his ground ball for the second inning in a row, and the Yankees turn their second consecutive double play.
So Miller is retired, and Manny Ramirez will bat with the bases empty. Double play in the second, double play here in the third. Ramirez has been doing a lot of this, hitting with nobody on. One ball, one strike. Two and one. After that initial jolt of electricity and energy at Yankee Stadium in the first inning, when Lieber pitched a scoreless first, this place has quieted down as they've seen Curt Schilling face 6 and retire all 6. 3-1 now on Manny Ramirez. Ramirez hits it into right. Sheffield. Inning over. A leadoff hit. A double play followed. Bottom of the third inning here in Game 6. Still no score. It has taken John Lieber 50 pitches to get through 3 innings. In Game 2, through 5 innings, he had only thrown 45 pitches. And while we don't want to get too hung up on pitch counts, as Sierra takes the ball up and away, realize that I think the Yankees have now joined the Red Sox in the category of teams playing with very thin bullpens.
And very tired bullpens.
That includes Rivera. That's hit down the right field line, hook foul. One ball, one strike on Sierra. Last 4 games in the postseason is hitting .429 with 4 multi-hit games. So Torrey sticks with him even though Lofton made the start against Schilling in Game 1. Good pitch, strike 2.
Good splitter right there. He got on top of that one, and it went down to Ruben Sierra. That pitch is most effective when it looks like a strike, but isn't.
Here's a 1-2 to Sierra. 2-2. Talking about a guy in Curt Schilling who led the AL with 21 victories. He's 21-6. Second best ERA and third in strikeouts with 203. Good rip by Sierra.
Well, the scouting report on Sierra is he's a fastball hitter. He's always been a fastball hitter. Against right-handers this year, all 16 home runs have been on fastballs. Splits, changeups, something slow with depth that's running down and away is a pitch that's really tough on Sierra.
A 2-2 now. Sierra strikes out, and that's the first strikeout of the night for Curt Schilling.
Once again, the splitter, and watch how Sierra swings over it futilely. And tumbling action. 7 in a row now retired by Curt Schilling.
Against the Yankees in the 2001 World Series, Schilling made 3 starts, was 1-0 with a 1.69 ERA. He was the starter in Game 7, the game that was eventually won by Luis Gonzalez on that flare hit off Rivera. The opponent's average against 162. That's as big a reason why, when the opportunity was there to get Curt Schilling, the Boston Red Sox went out and grabbed him.
His second start in both series, controversial. Of course, with the ankle problem here, with 3 days rest in the 2001 World Series.
Clark flies one into left field. Manny Ramirez is back for out number 2. With the bases empty, Cairo will bat. You can play Hit the Pros, presented by the all-new GMC Canyon, and face real pitches from today's best hurlers. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Keyword games, GMC. We are professional grade. Here's Miguel Cairo. And a start and a stop from Schilling.
One thing I've noticed about Curt tonight, and it's certainly understandable, he's much more deliberate than he usually is. He's taking more time between pitches.
Cairo flips it into right field. That ball falling in a hurry. It is a foul ball. And it looks like the wind is just going to grab everything in right and play with it. Nixon was gearing up to play it on a hop, and it was pushed foul. No balls, 1 strike on Cairo. With 2 out. 1-1.
Normally with 2 out and nobody on, it's not a good play to bunt unless you can steal a base. Cairo with 11 steals and 14 tries during the season. What you want to do, what you try to do, is get an extra base hit. So the guy hitting after you, it takes 1 hit to drive you in, not 2.
Here's a 1-1. Cairo hits it well into left center field. Ramirez and Damon chasing it. 1 bounce. There's the extra base hit. A double with 2 out in the 3rd. And the first hit of the night for New York.
Yeah, that's better than a bunt. Cairo choosing a fastball over the middle of the plate and driving it to left center field. A ground rule double as the Yankees have their first base runner.
That ball was popped. And now it's Derek Jeter stepping in. Got his first 3 RBIs with 1 swing in the 6th inning yesterday afternoon. They put New York out in front of Pedro Martinez and the Red Sox at the time. Boston tied it in the 8th and won it in the 14th. What a pickup by Varitek. Ball 1.
Wow, this is a beauty right here. Skate save, Varitek.
That was a split finger that was supposed to be inside. And Schilling just hooked it. You want to expand early with Jeter. He's actually got the highest percentage of the Yankee hitters that swing on the first pitch. 17% of the time, Derek Jeter swings at the first pitch. So you want to expand right away. As a pitcher, you think it's 0-2 right away.
1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a 1-0 split. It looks like a fastball out of his hand. And then about the last 10 feet, it drops about a foot.
Derek Jeter trying to put the Yankees on top here in the 3rd inning. Pops up. Shallow center field, and now Damon will go get it. Inning over. Yankees get their first hit, leave their first. Ortiz coming up. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. We're already into the 4th inning. Poppy is the nickname for David Ortiz. And Al, that is the ultimate sign of respect from the Latin ball players, and really it's caught on, and everybody's calling this guy Poppy now.
Yeah, generally, a lot of teams have a Latin player refer to the veteran senior-most guy as Poppy, and it is. It's a figure of respect.
Ortiz grounded out his first time. Takes a good fastball for a strike from Lieber, and we look at the numbers this postseason for David Ortiz. And that bottom line, he has ended the last 3 victories for the Boston Red Sox with a swing of his bat. Game 3 of the division series against Anaheim, and then the last 2 games, games 4 and 5 for the Red Sox. A homer and a single. 2-2.
Yeah, David armed with more than a slingshot in this postseason.
Ortiz out in front of the plate. Posada, 1 out.
Ball hitting right in front of home plate, and an easy play for Jorge Posada, who was hit on the back of the right hand in the 7th inning of the game at Fenway last night. Joe Torre telling us before the game he could throw well, so he's in there.
Now with the bases empty, 1 out, Trot Nixon steps in. Lieber allowed the 3 straight singles in the 2nd. Bellhorn got him off the hook with a double play ball. A leadoff hit to Damon in the 3rd, and a double play ball followed off the bat of Miller. Game 5, Posada. Manny Ramirez a foul tip, and it caught Posada. The knuckles on his right hand. Nixon grounds to Cairo. Lieber settling in. For more on Jorge Posada, let's go down to Kenny Albert.
Well, Joe, Jorge said before the game his hand is bruised. It's feeling all right. He said when the game starts tonight, adrenaline will take over. He said waking up today was tough, but both teams are on the same page. He said we all have a long time to rest after the season.
Thanks, Kenny. And now with 2 out, nobody on, it's Kevin Millar.
It's an expression that's been around baseball forever. Sleep in November.
With 2 out, Millar hits it down the left field line. Into the corner, Matsui gives it a look. That's a fair ball, and Millar digging for second. The throw, too late. Millar's 2 for 2.
So Kevin Millar in the corner here at Yankee Stadium. A short hop and a good play by Matsui to get it back in. But Millar with his second straight hit.
So now with 2 out, that gives Varitek a chance to put the Red Sox out in front. Varitek with a bunt single back in the second, but this is a moment where he will swing the bat. Strike one. Varitek knocked in the game-tying run last night in the 8th inning off Rivera. Rivera entered with runners at the corners, nobody out, and gave up the one inherited runner to make it a 4-4 game. That's on the corner again. It's 0-2.
Boy, has he made 2 nasty pitches on Jason Varitek, both low and away.
What Lieber's been doing with these left-handed hitters, he's staying on the outside corner, he's crisscrossing, he's throwing a backdoor cutter that looks off the plate that comes on, and then he starts the sinker that runs off.
That's in the dirt, and Millar will end up at third. That'll be a wild pitch, and now one of the reasons why he's maybe changing his approach. His left-handed hitters hit .336 this year against Lieber. That's the highest among any starter across Major League Baseball. Go ahead run at third with 2 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Varitek. Varitek stays alive. Six RBIs in this ALCS for Varitek. And he's 6 out of 20 at the plate. Two and two. Varitek homered here in game 1. That's low, full count with Cabrera next.
Lieber's gone away with 5 straight pitches. I'd be surprised if he gave him a strike here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you don't have to give in. You've got a guy, Cabrera, even though he has a hit. Lieber has owned him over the years. What will it be on 3 and 2? Varitek stays up there. Hitless in this situation. A runner in scoring position. Millar at third, 2 out. Another foul. Looked for a moment like Varitek was asking for time. He didn't get it from Joe West. So he had to put his top hand back on the bat, and he was able to get a piece of that last pitch. You can ask for time. You don't always get it. Varitek grounds to first, foul. Here's another guy who could conceivably be playing in his last game in a Red Sox uniform. A free agent at the end of the year. He came over from Seattle with Derek Lowe in a trade for Heathcliff Slocum. And both are without a contract beyond 2004.
That trade was made back in 1997 by former general manager Dan Duquette. Have the Red Sox ever gotten their worth out of Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek?
Varitek has put Boston on top. A base hit to center, and it's 1-0 in the fourth. What a solid at bat by one of the leaders on this Boston team.
You hear that term adjusting at the plate all the time, and that's exactly what Varitek did. He had grounded so many balls in front of home plate, one foul down the first baseline, and he goes out and gets that sinker. Looking for the fastball low and away. He got it and put the Red Sox ahead.
Now it's Cabrera off the end of the bat into left field, and that will fall for a hit. 2 on with 2 out, and Cabrera's 2 for 2.
He didn't hit it well, but he certainly could have sat on that pitch. In the first at bat, he saw 5 sliders. Every one of them were sliders. In many instances, hitters will come up, they'll know basically how you got him out the time before, and they'll sit on a pitch.
Now Bellhorn gets another chance with runners on. Ball 1. Mark bounced into a double play with the bases loaded and 1 out in the second. A 2-out double by Millar. A wild pitch sent him to third, and Varitek drove him home with a hit. Cabrera's on with a single. Bellhorn, strike 1. We have seen that over and over and over again in this LCS from Bellhorn. A chance for the Sox to add to their lead. That's foul. And it's 1-2.
A lot of times you hear that with 2 strikes, a hitter has to choke up on the bat. I've never really believed that. What I think you have to do is choke up in your thinking. You can be a defensive hitter without choking up on the bat. It means you can look away more. Never let a pitcher get you out of way.
That's down the left field line. Big trouble. Matsui on the run. That ball is off the wall. Matsui, I think for a moment, thought it was gone. It looked gone. Matsui reacted like it was gone, but then had to play it off the wall, and Francona's going to come out and argue. Right now it's 3-0. It could be 4-0 here in a moment if they change the ruling. That's Jim Joyce, the left field umpire, and just by the reaction of Matsui, he acted as if that ball left the park. Oh, it definitely did.
Absolutely.
It hit that fan in the
fan.
Dark blue or black hooded pullover.
Oh, yeah.
Off that
Clearly.
fan's hands, and that's why Matsui just stopped.
Clearly, right.
He saw it left.
That's one of the reasons Cabrera scored so easily, because Matsui just gave up on it, thinking that's a home run.
It's not even close.
No.
So now the umpires will get together. Dale Swaim is saying home run, and every umpire, all 6 of them, will congregate. And this is such a change, let's say over 5 or 6 years ago, trying to get this call right. Nobody goes under the hood in Major League Baseball. They just get together and talk it over. But I don't know how Joyce down the line didn't get a good enough look at that ball that you could see it was clearly out the live action, easily on the replay, and we'll see if any one of the other umpires saw it leave.
That ball hit a person wearing a black pullover, so it was easy to see the white ball against the black pullover or coat.
It's 3-0 now. It should be 4-0. And it's a home run. 4-0 Boston. Joe Torre's going to argue, but the umpires got it right. A terrific job by this umpiring crew, initially getting the call wrong. And credit Jim Joyce with coming to ask for help. And somebody spoke up, said they saw it leave. And here it is over the wall off the bat of Bellhorn. And it is clear to see how the ball is carrying to left tonight and not to right.
That might be the only part of the ballpark where the ball is carrying down the left field line.
So it's a 4-run rally with 2 out. And for the moment, it has been capped on a home run by Bellhorn, who picks right now in Game 6, 4th inning, for his first RBIs of the postseason.
A man booed in Boston time after time after time. And a guy who did not allow the pitcher to get him out of the way.
I was just going to say that. They kept pounding him in.
Yeah.
They go away, and Bellhorn sticks the bat out and hits a home run.
Got the fastball away, went with it with power, and gives the Red Sox a 4-0 lead here in the 4th.
Now it's Damon taking a strike. Johnny Damon pops it in the air to left center field. Long run, Matsui still going to end the inning. The Red Sox with 4 in the 4th, a huge inning, capped on a home run by Bellhorn. Schilling has a 4-run lead here in Game 6. Curt Schilling is back to the hill. This time he's got a 4-run cushion. Bottom of the 4th inning, Rodriguez starts it with a hit for New York. That was only the 39th pitch of the game for Curt Schilling, but it's a base hit up the middle, and Sheffield's coming up. Sheffield popped up his first time.
New York Yankees set a major league record with comeback wins this year, 61. And from 4 runs down or more, they did it 9 times.
Trying to do it tonight against Curt Schilling. Ball 1. We saw a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the first inning from Schilling. That last pitch, 87. And again, it's not the only indication as to how a guy's throwing, but with everything that's going on with his right ankle and the foundation of his delivery and pushing off from his backside, it's something to at least make note of. The 1-0. On the inside corner, a ball and a strike. This combination of Sheffield and Matsui, deadly for Red Sox pitching the first 3 games. That's strike 2. 89 miles per hour with a fastball. Runner is going, and Sheffield fouls it. Had to swing with 2 strikes. A-Rod seemed to get a good jump.
Rodriguez, an excellent base runner, and he did have a good jump. 3 steps before Schilling released the ball home.
28 steals during the regular season for a guy that popped 36 home runs. Sheffield also hit 36, and he has 2 this postseason. Reaching for it, slow roller. Miller lets it hit the bag. And it's 2 on with nobody out.
Well, he made the right play because he was playing Sheffield so deeply that he had no other choice. And the Yankees get a break.
And now with 2 on and nobody out, Hideki Matsui, who after 3 games of this ALCS was the clear-cut choice for MVP. 10 RBIs to lead this Yankee team, digs in.
That hit by Sheffield, Al, a situation where Schilling did exactly what he wanted to. Sheffield didn't do what he wanted to, and yet Sheffield got a hit.
I think what were you saying? You can produce it, but you can't direct it.
Produce, but not direct.
As a pitcher, you make your pitch. Hitter tries to hit it on the solid part of the bat. After that, it's baseball.
Matsui pops it up. Millar will have to drift with it. Now in foul territory for out number 1. He started about 10 feet in fair territory and ended up at least 10 or 15 feet in foul territory. Big out for Schilling to get Matsui, and now Bernie Williams, who popped up to third his first time, is up with 2 on 1 out.
Pop flies tonight like sagebrush in the old West, right?
All over the place.
Yeah, drifting and drifting.
Chance for the Yankees to jump onto the scoreboard and right back in it, down 4-0 in the 4th. Ripped into right. Foul. Back to second, Rodriguez. Back to first, Sheffield. Wide, 1 ball, 1 strike. '21 career postseason home runs for Bernie Williams. He went deep in Game 5 off Pedro. Schilling sneaks a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in there for strike 2.
I think that's the proper verb, too. Sneaked. after looking at two splitters. Not necessarily the speed of the fastball, but as Al alluded to earlier, it's how it appears.
Right side, Millar knocks it down. It's Schilling having to get over and cover with that bad ankle. 2 out.
And he was limping to first base. Ball hit fairly well, backhanded by Millar in the heel of the glove. And he shuffles it off to the limping Schilling, covering.
But Al, every pitcher works on that from the middle of February on, and that's like Pavlov's dog. The light goes on, the ground ball's hit to the right side, and you start running.
Hundreds and hundreds of what we call PFP, cover at first. Hundreds, thousands. You've been playing long enough. The key for that play is just after you throw it, you're not a spectator. You got to get off the mound. Any ball that's hit to that side, even if it's to the second baseman, is to go toward first.
Schilling originally hurt that sheath around the tendon in his right ankle on this play in the 6th inning of Game 1 against Anaheim. And then he aggravated it here, according to the Red Sox. Coming to the line, couldn't get anything on that toss, and then immediately grabbed his right ankle. With 2 out, runners at second and third, Posada cranks it down the right side. Foul. Jorge hit a ball into right, got under it just a bit, but still was knocked down by that wind. Take more of a line drive to get it out to right tonight. Second and third, 2 out. The 0-1. That's the left side, strike 2.
Yankees have already stranded 1 runner in scoring position. They have 2 more here in the 4th inning. And we talked about it in the opening. Over the last 2 games, only 4 for 26 are the Yankees with runners in scoring position. After scoring 19 runs on 22 hits in Game 3, their offense has been futile.
Oh, 2 on Posada. Schilling with a 4-0 lead. Since Game 4, as Tim has been saying, 4 for 29 with runners in scoring position, including tonight. Yankees put their first 2 on. Matsui fouled out. Williams grounded out. And time called prior to the pitch. Ball 1. Obviously not in this situation, so don't jump me for saying this.
Okay.
But when you know a guy can't run and can't move and he's got the bad ankle, is the thought on a wet night like this at all making him field his position, dropping down bunts? And I know Joe Torre would say that's not the game we play. Francona would say If they want to bunt, let them bunt. But tonight's a different story, especially down 4-0 trying to chip away. But not here. They want Posada to swing the bat and drive the ball. Second and third, 2 out. To the right side. Schilling again has to at least go into the area. And Millar gets him off the hook and takes it himself. First 2 on for the Yankees. Schilling gets around it. 4-0 after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station.
John Lieber giving up 4 runs in the 4th inning. The Red Sox with 8 hits on the night. And Curt Schilling has a shutout through 4.
Billy Miller first up for Boston. Took a ball. And now a foul. And Miller, who's already been drilled tonight, is in some more pain after that foul tip caught him.
Really with Bill, it's from head to toe. Diving into first base last night, he jammed his fingers on his left hand. He's been hit above the right knee, and now he hammers one off his right foot.
Here's a 1-1. Miller grounds to Clark. The flip for the out, and we'll go back in time. The controversial home run, although in the end there's no controversy because they got the call right. Initially ruled that the ball was still in play. And there's the person who could have come up with a souvenir but missed it. The ball back onto the field, and we go to Kenny Albert, who's with that person in the black pullover.
Well, the question is, was it a home run? I'm with Michael and 12-year-old Mia. And Mia, first of all, a Yankee fan or Red Sox fan?
I'm a big Yankee fan.
Was it a home run?
Yes.
All right, so from the mouth of a 12-year-old Yankee fan, Mia, it was a home run.
That is the ultimate in honesty. What a cutie.
That's great.
She's very deliberate. Are you a Yankee fan? Yes. Is it a home run? Yes. There are still honest people in this world, Tim.
Absolutely.
Al, you knew that all along. Ramirez takes the ball inside. It's 2-0. On deck is David Ortiz, and if he was asking for some help, he has received some help from others in his lineup. The bottom of the order doing all the damage against Lieber. That is hammered foul. The 6 through 9 spots only been retired once, and that was Bellhorn on the double play in the second. Otherwise, Millar's 2 for 2, Varitek's 2 for 2, Cabrera's 2 for 2, and Bellhorn more than made up for that double play ball with a 3-run home run down the left field line. On 2-1, 3-1. Ramirez is flying to right twice. Full count.
Gives you an idea of how much a big league pitcher can miss. Posada sitting away. The pitch up and in.
Ramirez into center field, didn't get it all. 2 out. David Ortiz is coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He is our Budweiser Fantasy Player of last night's ALCS Game 5. His night and another game-ending hit last night in the 14th inning. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Keyword Fantasy Baseball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Here's David with the bases empty, 2 out. Into left field. Matsui came in, now goes back near the wall to end the inning. Halfway through game number 6. Bottom of the 5th inning rolls in. Yankees bat down by 4. 10 o'clock in the East, ALCS Game 6. The Yankees up 3-2. We look at the LCS summary from each LCS. Red Sox are leading here 4-0, bottom of the 5th. The home team in each series 9-1. 3 last at bat wins. It was Houston last night on the Kent home run, and then 2 times courtesy of David Ortiz. Ruben Sierra first up in the 5th inning, and he's up on the count 2-0 from Schilling. Two and one. Sierra thought it was high.
That's not high. That's right down the middle. If he were to swing, he'd hit it real hard.
Here's a 2-1. Pops up on the infield. Now in foul territory. Varitek, Miller, and Miller can't make the play.
Well, that's Miller's ball all the way. Shying away from Varitek. Actually, Varitek comes too far. But closing in and from that direction, a much easier play than having Varitek try to make it.
I don't think there's any doubt that Varitek flashing in front of Miller took his concentration and his eyes from the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Varitek went too far on that foul ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes now on Sierra. Will that be a break for the Yankees? Still 2-2. Tony Clark will be next, and then Miguel Cairo, bottom 3 in the lineup for New York. That's foul.
Sometimes a pitch and in a bat can upset either the pitcher or the hitter. In this instant, Sierra wasn't happy with Joe West's call on that high fastball. And sometimes hitters will let it play out the whole at bat, and they're frustrated with the one call. That was 4 pitches ago.
Another 2-2. Sierra strikes out. Let's go out to Jeannie for a game break.
Well, we have gotten used to seeing Carlos Beltran hit the home run, so he found another way to make the highlights. Yikes. Jeff Kent taking care of the offense in Game 5 with a walk-off home run. The Astros won all 3 at home to take a 3-2 series lead. NLCS heads back to St. Louis for Game 6. Primetime on Fox unless the Red Sox hold on to the lead and force a Game 7.
That's the situation tomorrow. Jeannie, thanks. With 1 out, here is Tony Clark, and there's a strike. The Red Sox win tonight. Game 7 between these 2 clubs will be in prime time tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. That would force the Astros and Cardinals to a 4 p.m. Eastern start. That ball's foul. However, if the Yankees were to come from behind and win tonight and end this ALCS right now, the Cardinals and Astros would play at 8 o'clock Eastern their Game 6. 0-2 is the count on Tony Clark.
I think normally Terry Francona would be very happy under the circumstances if Curt Schilling went 5 effective innings. However, their bullpen once again is exhausted.
Schilling is at 94 miles per hour on that fastball. His best fastball since the first inning, and he blew it by the bat of Tony Clark.
Look at Varitek standing up, and Schilling hits the mitt.
By the way, that graphic that we showed you, 5-0, or in the 5th inning, a 4-0 score. You remember what happened in Game 7 last year with Pedro Martinez pitching, and one guy that everybody forgets playing a key role in that Game 7 comeback by the Yankees was Jason Giambi. Hit 2 home runs in that game. Then the 3 runs in the 8th inning And the victory in the 11th on the home run by Aaron Boone.
Also, Mike Messina coming in and relieving Roger Clemens with 2 on and none out, and then pitching 2 scoreless innings.
1 ball, 1 strike on Cairo.
Early heroes in a game are rarely remembered.
You say that with bitterness, like you did some.
No, quit that.
I remember one time in the second. 2 out, bases empty, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cairo grounds to the left side. Cabrera called into action, and a perfect 5th inning for Curt Schilling. Doing his thing. 6th inning now. Game 6. Still 4-0 Boston. Tonight's game on Fox is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution. By ALCS, the world's largest fully electronic stock exchange. And by Midas, trust the Midas touch. Weather has improved a bit. It is cold here in the Bronx for Game 6. The first pitch misses to Nixon. Curt Schilling can win on a couple of different fronts tonight for the Red Sox. He's thrown 67 pitches to this point. He just had a perfect 5th inning. He struck out 2 hitters in the 5th inning. And if he can go deep into this game and take more of a load off that Red Sox bullpen, he can open up a number of options tomorrow for Game 7 for Terry Francona, where Derek Lowe would be available, Arroyo. Tim Wakefield right now is scheduled to be the starter. They're at least getting Wakefield ready for that possibility. Lowe and Arroyo are each available in the bullpen tonight for the Red Sox if they're needed. But Schilling right now doesn't look like he needs any help. 2-0 is the count on Nixon. Two and 1.
And with Wakefield ready to go, we asked Terry Francona about whether Jason Varitek would start tomorrow night or not. And he said, we've talked about it and we've thought about it.
And that's all we got.
Yep.
2-2. You made the good point, though, that even if it is Wakefield tomorrow night as the starter, with the amount of pitches that Wakefield has thrown in this series to this point, and the tremendous job he did last night in Game 5, it would not be an extended outing for Wakefield. So do you build your lineup basing it on Wakefield pitching deep into the game? The Red Sox say, I don't think so.
Reason we bring that up, obviously Varitek, who had caught only 2 innings of Wakefield's pitches this year before last night, had a lot of problems with it. 3 pass balls in 1 inning. I was thinking about it this afternoon. How can you have 3 pass balls in 1 inning and have no run score? It's very difficult to do.
Inning started with a strikeout pass ball. Nixon gets a piece again. We've seen Schilling in that pose a number of times. Alan, I've seen you do that kind of thing in the dugout.
Not so long.
Not as long.
Not
but I've
as
seen
long.
you do it. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Curt Schilling prepares as good as anybody in baseball as far as leading up to his start. He does a video. There's a computer scouting system he uses. I think to his right, he's got a scouting board that he keeps referring to. Pitch sequences. What did they swing at?
Nixon with a good battle.
Scenarios of previous at-bats and how he's going to change the sequence based on another at-bat. He takes scouting to a whole nother level, which is another reason why I think it's much more difficult on both sides for the hitters and pitchers to succeed. He's looking at some sort of scouting report there. There's some notes, that's going to help him in the next inning. And it's all about executing a quality pitch consecutively. And that's what Curt Schilling is all about. That's what good pitchers are all about.
Nixon with another foul. It's often said, and we've said it many times, the mark of the great ones, as you look at that chart, the mark of the great ones are the guys who can be effective, get outs, in this case maintain a lead when they're not at their best. And Curt Schilling is doing that tonight.
And you saw it when they're not at their best. He still had the ability there to strike out Sierra on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's tempering his velocity when he needs it.
Nixon strikes out looking to start the inning. He thought he had drawn a walk.
It's a backdoor cutter, perfect on the corner. What Lieber has done all night, and he stayed away on the lefties, and mostly probably because of the short porch and right here. Not probably, definitely. There's a crisscross effect. That ball looked about 6 inches outside for Nixon because it was off the plate. And at the end, as you saw it cut on the corner. So he's got a sinker that's running away and a cutter that's coming on the plate. It's a crisscross effect.
Millar takes a strike. It was Kevin's 2-out double in the 4th inning that got it started for the Red Sox. He went to third on a wild pitch, scored on a base hit by Varitek at the end of a great at bat. Cabrera hit, and then a 2-out, 3-run opposite field home run off the bat of Mark Bellhorn. And nobody needed that more than Mark Bellhorn with the kind of series he was having. Two balls and a strike. Millar looking for his 3rd hit. A-Rod with a backhand. Just gooses it over to first and out on the tag by Clark. 2 out. You know, we keep talking about the Boston Red Sox and their pitching situation. You go forward 1 game to Game 7, and the Yankees have question marks about Kevin Brown pitching on 3 days rest, coming off his start on Saturday night where he wasn't effective.
Well, that's true, but you know, again, you're just as good as your last pitch or your last start, and certainly for Kevin, he's preparing. We talked about talking about Schilling, and here Lieber making pitches. It's about executing quality pitches.
Yeah, but who's going to execute them? That's the point. I think. I mean, who's going to execute them? Is it going to be Kevin Brown? I mean, the Yankees are certainly depleted. I mean, I'd rather have a Tim Wakefield, who's a guy who could throw a lot of pitches in starting a game with Arroyo and Lowe in the wings, rather than a guy like Kevin Brown, who had a bad outing in Boston.
And then really it's pointing toward another combination, you would think, of Brown and Vasquez.
Yeah.
But Vasquez picked up Brown that night and ended up throwing 100 pitches out of the bullpen, so he's only got 3 days left.
Right.
They needed it from Lieber tonight, and Lieber has been outpitched by Schilling.
To reiterate what you said earlier, Joe, no team has ever been down 3-0 and come back and won 3 in a row. No team in baseball.
Full count on Varitek. In fact, just forcing Game 7. Tim said it's never happened in Major League Baseball. 3 times in the NBA and 5 times in the NHL. The 3-2. Varitek gets a piece. Two out, nobody on. Varitek is 2 for 2.
I mean, it's an arguable point, but now that you brought it up, if the Red Sox win tonight, the momentum goes over to their pitching staff tomorrow night, remarkably.
Varitek pops it into center. Bernie Williams. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the top of the order coming up for the Yankees. Trying to end it tonight. Red Sox trying to force Game 7 up 4. We move into the bottom of the 6th inning on a cold night in the Bronx. 4-0 Red Sox, and Jeter takes a ball low and away. Even if the Red Sox, with Schilling in the middle of the mound, don't give up any runs here in the bottom of the 6th, the Yankees have got to work on Curt Schilling and draw him out to try to get into that worn-out bullpen to have a chance to win this game tonight. Here's a 1-0 pitch. 2-0. It not only would give them a chance to win tonight, it would also help their chances tomorrow if there is a Game 7. Jeter, Rodriguez, and Sheffield for the Yankees here in the 6th. Pitch number 70 on the night coming from Schilling.
Jeter probably taking.
And it's ball 3.
He may take 2 here with the Yankees trailing by 4.
Three and 1. Full count. 93 from Schilling. Fastball and a fastball count, and a hitter like Jeter doing that with it, a good sign for Schilling.
Fastball away.
And a line drive caught by Bellhorn. Throws on to first anyway, but there's 1 out in the 6th inning. When the Red Sox first got Curt Schilling, the promotional opportunities were endless.
Hard. Wicked. Hard.
Wicked hard.
I can't find a place to park.
Park. Can't find a place to park. Play wicked hard when I go to the park.
Trying to learn the language. And a comparison of Game 1 to tonight. First pitch is a ball outside to Rodriguez. 93 again from Schilling.
He learned the language this year. 21 wins, led the major leagues. It'll be between Curt and Johan Santana of the Minnesota Twins as to who wins the Cy Young Award.
Rodriguez fouls it away. Can you imagine what will be written about this start tonight on the part of Curt Schilling? Pitching with that painful right ankle. Looked like there was no chance after Game 1, the 3 innings, the 6 runs, that he would appear again this postseason. Blood-soaked sock around that right ankle. Rodriguez pops it in the air to right center field for Nixon. 2 out. You look at Schilling's night to this point in Game 6. Impressive from the very beginning. He's allowed only 3 hits. He pitched out of a 2-on, nobody out jam in the 4th. He even covered first base for an out. 2 of his 3 strikeouts. And now with 2 out and nobody on, here's Sheffield. And there's strike 1.
I don't think it's hyping it or overstating it. This has been a courageous performance by Curt Schilling. No question about that.
No balls, 1 strike on Sheffield. Al, you know how proud guys are in the big leagues, and I think there was a bit of embarrassment with how game 1 went for Schilling as well. I know the ankle was killing him, but to do that out here at Yankee Stadium for the Red Sox was embarrassing in some respects, and he had no idea what to expect tonight.
And Curt Schilling certainly not afraid to give his opinion and state how he feels, and here's a guy who backs it up. You could say or think whatever you want about him, but he cares so much. He's prepared. He works hard. He's a great pitcher, and he's not afraid to give his opinion. Here's a guy who absolutely stepped up, said he challenges and loves the opportunity to go to Boston and this whole Yankee-Boston rivalry. And all he's done is led the league in wins.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Sheffield, 2 out, nobody on. You remember what he said prior to his game 1 start? I can't think of any better scenario where I can make 55,000 people from New York shut up. They were loud when he was on the mound in game 1, enjoying 6 runs over the first 3 innings. They're quiet now.
So far, it took him 2 starts to do it.
He jammed Sheffield. Ramirez went back, comes on, and Curt Schilling rolls through 6 innings, game 6. 7th inning now, still 4-0. Back after this from your local Fox station. Orlando Cabrera takes a pitch outside, and we're underway in the 7th inning already. It is 10:28 on the scoreboard clock. 7th inning. Just going to let that sink in for a moment. 4 hours 20 minutes, 5 hours 2 minutes, 5 hours 49 minutes. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cabrera, who has really been a plus for the Red Sox in this postseason. Into center field and into the glove of Williams. Cabrera retired for the first time tonight. Bellhorn coming up. He has the biggest swing of the night.
Well, another big plus for the Red Sox as Lieber misses down, and with the count 1-1, Bellhorn pulls it foul, pulls another one foul. And remember what we were talking about. Don't let a pitcher get you out away with 2 strikes. That fastball away, Bellhorn goes with it and puts the Red Sox up by 4.
Here he takes a strike. This is where the ball ended up off his bat. Off some hands. Originally ruled that it stayed in play. What a catch by Sheffield. And Bellhorn follows up that 3-run home run with an at-bat where he is robbed by a guy whose left shoulder is absolutely killing him.
Not only a play close to the ground, but a backhand close to the ground.
What a catch. And he did secure that ball.
Yep.
And he had his glove between the ball and the grass. And Lieber appreciates it. First pitch, a strike to Damon. Not to try to go too deep into this thing, but after the Red Sox got the 4-run lead, they've not had a base runner, and you wonder if these quick half innings work to the advantage of Curt Schilling, not having to sit there on the bench in this cold weather with that bad ankle. He's staying warm, and he has pitched brilliantly. And he'll go back out there for the bottom of the 7th. Taking a load off that Red Sox bullpen tonight and pitching like an ace, showing the world why the Red Sox went out to get him, trying to beat the Yankees and force Game 7. We stay here for God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise? And please direct your attention now to the microphone behind home plate and welcome world-renowned Irish tenor Ronan Tynan. In honor of the servicemen and women stationed around the globe, Dr. Tynan will now sing God Bless America.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet
We welcome you back to the bottom of the 7th inning, middle part of the order for the Yankees. Time running out for the Yankees in Game 6 to prevent a Game 7 as Schilling misses with ball 1. We thank Chris Long for putting those musical pieces together in and out of breaks. An interesting night as Schilling deals, and it's 1 ball 1 strike on Matsui. Hideki 0 for 2.
Joe, you brought up an appropriate point on a 3-1 fastball that Jeter fouled off the other way the last inning. What that does, it tells a pitching coach and a manager that a pitcher's still throwing hard when they get foul balls off the other way, as Matsui just had one.
There's a strike into Hideki Matsui, 1-2.
Now, if hitters are pulling balls foul, that could be an indication that a pitcher's losing something off his fastball.
Right where Veritek wanted it, 2-2. To the right side for Millar. Millar takes it, 1 out. Matsui 0 for 3. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By Choice Hotels International. We'll see you there. And by AIG, for insurance, loans, and retirement. AIG, we know money. I'm just going to bring it up again just because I talked about it earlier. I know it's not what the Yankees do. Maybe it would be a pleasant sight for Francona and the Red Sox if these guys tried to drop one down. But I'm surprised they haven't at least tested Schilling getting off the mound to field his position with that bad ankle, because I'll tell you, swinging the bats isn't working at all. They only have 3 hits, 1 extra base hit. The crowd has been taken out of it. The pitching of Schilling, 1 ball, no strikes, and that barely missed. 2-0. Williams has popped up and grounded out to the right side. 3-0.
Tell you, if the Yankees lose this ball game, this will be a nervous city tomorrow. Very nervous.
Schilling with 1 out, nobody on. 3-1. Schilling last inning worked back, falling behind on the count to Jeter. Came back to get him on a line drive to start the inning. Trying to come back from a 3-0 count here with Williams up. 1 out, nobody on. That's ripped into right field. Down the right field line. It is gone. Home run to make it 4-1 as the Yankees are finally on the board. Second career postseason home run. That ball didn't hook an inch. Stayed right down the line, fair to make it 4-1. And now action will start for the Red Sox in their bullpen.
We've talked about in a fastball count how hitters look for balls to yank. That ball down and in to Bernie Williams. Looking fastball, got the fastball, and he did something with it. That is an ideal pitch on which to go deep, and Williams did.
Ball 1 to Posada. And this crowd that Schilling has kept quiet all night, not quiet anymore. 1-1. It's Bronson Arroyo who pitched an inning in relief last night, getting loose for the Red Sox. The 94th pitch of the night coming for Curt Schilling. Four times this postseason, after doing it 61 times during the regular year, the Yankees have come from behind to win. He's challenged Posada with 2 fastballs. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that crowded him. That made Posada bring his arms in. Good fastball from Schilling.
Splitter in the dirt. It's 2-2.
Pitching is all about getting ahead. And until the Williams home run, it was a 3-1 count. There was only one other time all night that he was in a 3-1 count. That was Derek Jeter, and Derek Jeter had a line drive out to second base. Getting ahead and expanding. That's the pitcher's job.
He's 2-2 on Posada. He pops it up. It's Bellhorn underneath it. 2 out. Our Nissan game summary. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees are finally on the board, and the home run by Bernie Williams. The biggest swing of the night. Bellhorn, a 3-run shot with 2 out in the 4th. And Schilling's night, 6 2/3, a run on 4 hits. And there's the Bellhorn home run. Initially ruled that it stayed in play. The umpires got together, got the call right. So Schilling follows the home run by getting Posada to pop up. And now Sierra, who has struck out twice, swings and misses, strike 1. Felix Heredia, the left-hander, getting loose for the Yankees in their pen. Sierra sticks the bat out and pokes it down the left field line, foul. 0-2. A feeble swing by Sierra. He strikes out for the 3rd time, and game 6 goes to the 8th. Bernie Williams goes deep down the right field line, and it's 4-1 Boston. First pitch is a strike from John Lieber. And we go back to the end of the 7th inning, in the hugs in the dugout for Curt Schilling would lead you to believe that he's finished for the night. There is action for the Red Sox out in their bullpen. 0-2 is the count on Miller. Arroyo is getting loose.
Schilling's performance tonight will long live in New England baseball lore.
Miller checked his swing, 1-2. I got to tell you, with the way that Schilling has pitched, I'm at least mildly surprised that he would come out of the ballgame. That is a worn down bullpen, and Bronson Arroyo, it appears, will take over for the Red Sox in the bottom of this inning. Miller grounds to Clark, and Lieber has been perfect since the Bellhorn home run in the 4th.
I know what you're saying. You get a little greedy, healthily greedy. Because before the game, if you said, you know, we'll take 5 shutout innings from Schilling, take it in a second. And now you get 6, then you get 7. Williams hits a home run. He's given up 1 run, and you're thinking, well, let's keep him out there.
Well, the irony of it all is, you and I were sitting here last year for game 7, and Grady Little was accused of leaving Pedro Martinez in the game too long.
Right.
But the irony of it would be, if the Boston Red Sox bullpen can't hang on to what is now a 3-run lead, Terry Francona, I think at least in some circles, would be accused of not leaving Schilling in long enough. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Unless by leaving him in, you risked an injury. On the other hand, look at the bullpen.
The last 2 games, they have been fantastic for Terry Francona. And I guess one of the reasons why I say that is the way Schilling got through the 7th. I know he gave up the home run, But he got Matsui on a ground out. He got Posada on a pop-up right after the home run. And then he struck out Sierra and made Sierra look terrible on his last swing.
Well, from the looks of the highlight, the decision was already made because Schilling didn't even get down to the last step, and Francona was hugging him. He didn't even allow Schilling to make the decision, which he should if that was what Francona's decision. My feeling is that he was behind two guys in a 3-1 count. Jeter in the previous inning in the 6th, and then Williams when he hit the home run. He was obviously dominating. He's got the bottom of the order in Clark, Cairo, and Jeter, of which lifetime Cairo is batting 188.
Here's a little flare into right. That ball is going to drop. It's a base hit, and Ramirez is on for the first time tonight with 1 out in the 8th.
Clark only has 3 at-bats, and Jeter's batting 161 in 31 at-bats, lifetime. I just think if you can get an additional 3 outs from Curt Schilling, you talk to Bruce not only about how great a job he did today, but those 3 extra outs that bullpen has to figure out and get could be critical.
Lieber is coming out. Felix Heredia is coming in with David Ortiz coming up. 4-1 Red Sox in the top of the 8th. First pitch from Heredia. David Ortiz trying to check his swing, could not. Hold up, strike 1. Last night Heredia came into the game, struck out Ortiz, gave up a double to Minkiewicz, and was out of there. His only action in this ALCS. He's been in 2 games in the postseason. 1 on, 1 out. Ortiz takes strike 2. Ortiz hooks it foul. There are always other factors when a pitcher comes out of the game. Did the medical staff say that's it? Did Schilling say I've got 1 more in me and that's all I can do? That we don't know. Did the ankle start to bother him more? Although there were no real signs of that in the bottom of the 7th, even though he gave up the home run. But Curt Schilling, Al, as you said, was met on the steps by Terry Francona. Got the hug. It appears Bronson Arroyo's coming into the game, and that's not official either. It'd be one thing in my mind if that were Rivera coming out of the bullpen. They're going to ask Arroyo to do a lot in relief of Schilling here tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So I guess what I'm saying is if there are other factors which we have no idea of knowing at this point, that's in one category. If it's based on performance, then that's in another. And I think the performance by Schilling to this point has been phenomenal. He gave up the home run. He's only allowed 4 hits. He hasn't walked anybody, and he's still throwing hard. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ortiz took it just outside.
So if it was based on performance and performance alone, he'd go back out there. There's no question about that. But I think the Red Sox, if they err, they're going to err on the side of caution. They've decided to err on the side of caution because 5 or 6 days ago, it was unsure whether Curt Schilling would even pitch again this year.
3 hours ago, it was unsure if he could get through an inning.
That's right.
And he got through 7, allowing 1 run on 4 hits. Runner goes as Ortiz hits it in the air to right. Broke his bat, and Sheffield has out number 2. So Ortiz has been held hitless. And for David Ortiz, that's the first time he's come up empty in a game in this series. Now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Gabe Kapler is going to come off the bench, and that's going to be it for Heredia. Quantrill, who had to leave last night tweaking his right knee, is getting loose for the Yankees out in their bullpen, and Heredia did his job. He got Ortiz, and now with Kapler coming up, Quantrill's coming in. Top of the hour, Yankee Stadium, Game 6. Yankees leading 3-2. Red Sox leading tonight 4-1. And here in the 8th, a pinch hitter, Gabe Kapler, against Quantrill. Diving stop, Jeter can't make a play. And it's 2 on with 2 out as Kapler's on with an infield hit.
Jeter too far to range to his right, and then he made a fine play. And when he tried to throw it, he reached in and nothing was there but leather.
Now it's Millar. And Millar could take a lot of heat off the bullpen if he could find his 3rd hit of the night. 2 on with 2 out.
I guess that's the only reason Curt Schilling's still in the dugout.
Pitch is up and away, ball 1.
To make sure that they score enough runs to nail it down.
He's sitting there watching. Didn't seem to be getting immediate medical attention when he came back to the dugout.
Well, this is his inning. He finished the bottom of the 7th, so pitchers are superstitious in different ways. If this was a tie game, these runs would give him a win. So pitchers vary their superstitions. And I know Curt is very superstitious. While standing out in the bullpen before he threw his first pitch, he was looking at the clock until it hit 59. And I was watching him and said, what's he doing? As soon as it went 59, he started throwing.
With 2 on, 2 out, Millar takes it inside 2-0 from Quantrill. So as many question marks with the Yankee bullpen at this point after 3 long nights at Fenway Park. And Millar will be sitting on a pitch. He's 2 for 3 tonight. On 2-0. On the outside corner, 2-1. Schilling, we've been talking about the pitch count all night. To this point, has thrown 99 pitches. Here's a 2-1. Millar took ball 3. On deck is Veritek.
Just like Bernie Williams did in the bottom of the 7th inning, a 3-1 pitch. He looked inside and he yanked a home run. That's what Millar is going to be trying to do right here. If you're Quantrill, you try to keep the fastball away from him.
Millar pops it up. Foul territory. Posada. Full count.
You could see Millar shaking his head. He knew he missed one. That ball right down the pipe.
Ooh. Runners will go. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Kevin Millar. Another foul. Manny Ramirez, a lead runner at second. Kapler on at first.
A lot of guys in both bullpens who have a lot of guts. Quantrill with a bad right knee. Keith Folk, who's thrown, seems like hundreds of pitches the last 3 days. Tim Wakefield of the Red Sox. Arroyo's performance last night.
Arroyo, it appears, will get another chance. Runners go on a 3-2 pitch. Millar grounds to Jeter. The inning is over. Bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. Bottom 2 in the order coming up. The door to the Red Sox bullpen is open, and Bronson Arroyo is coming in. Tonight's game on Fox is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Miller. There's good enough, and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. And by Sharp. Sharp Aquos. Suddenly there's more to see. Doug Minkiewicz takes over at first base. Kapler stays in the game in right. And it's 27-year-old Bronson Arroyo in the middle of it all for the Boston Red Sox. Tony Clark first up. Strike one. Arroyo was terrific last night, working one perfect inning against the top of the order in the 10th. He kept it a 4-4 game until the Red Sox won it in the 14th. A check swing. Clark went 0-2. We talked to Terry Francona before the game about Bronson Arroyo and about that outing last night. And he said he's been good all year. He has deserved his spot in our rotation in the postseason. And here he is pitching in relief 2 nights in a row and working in the bottom of the 8th with a 4-1 lead. First full real good year in the big leagues for Arroyo. It's 2-2. Nobody at the moment getting loose for the Red Sox in their bullpen. One out. That slow curve gets Tony Clark.
Big sweeping curveball from Arroyo. Pitch out of the strike zone, and Tony Clark is down leading off the 8th inning.
Arroyo, prior to this year when he won 10, lost 9. 32 starts, 29 starts, 32 appearances overall. Had never won more than 5 games in the big leagues. And here he is with a franchise and a fan base on his back, hoping he can get them to a Game 7 tomorrow night with a chance to get to the World Series for the first time since 1986. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cairo. It's interesting, guys, that Myers would be the one getting loose right now. With Jeter, Rodriguez, and Sheffield, the next 3 hitters. Terry Francona thinks enough of Arroyo to not have another right-hander getting loose. He's getting loose. Myers is for Matsui,
right,
who's 4 hitters away.
Means that Arroyo is in there for Jeter, Rodriguez, and Sheffield.
That's out of play. Still 1-2.
You know, in many cases, that's the luxury when you're a specialty pitcher like Myers, when he knows the exact batter, who he's facing, and when. He could take as much time as he wants or needs.
That breaking ball is taken by Cairo. 2-2. Rivera with back-to-back blown saves, although last night's blown save, all he gave up was a fly ball to give up the lead. Here's a 2-2. Cairo pops it down the right field line, slicing out of play.
And I say that because relief pitchers can get ready. Some relief pitchers say they can get ready in 5 or 6 pitches. In most cases, a relief pitcher takes about 15 or 20. And by the time if a pitcher's getting in trouble and the pitching coach walks out or talks and back and the catcher talks, they can get plenty in. So if there were some trouble in the top of the order here, they still have plenty of time for a Timlin or Leskanic, somebody else to get up and be ready.
One out with the bases empty. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cairo lines one into right. That's a fair ball. Into the corner. Kepler digs it out, but it's a 1-out double. Pretty piece of hitting by Cairo.
Jason Varitek wanted the breaking ball. Arroyo shook him off twice. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Nope. Nope. He wanted to throw the fastball and did, and Cairo burned him.
Now it's Jeter with Rodriguez to follow. Base hit left field. They bring Cairo to the plate. The throw into second. It's 4-2.
A hanging slider to Derek Jeter. And the second Yankee run.
And now the tying run is at the plate. Alex Rodriguez. Dave Wallace out to talk.
Second time Rodriguez was up facing Bronson Arroyo in game 3. He had a 2-run homer against him on a hanging slider at Fenway Park.
That game 3 start was Saturday night. Arroyo only pitched into the 3rd. Couple nights later, he's in for a relief appearance against the Yankees, and now back-to-back relief appearances for Arroyo. How much can he have left?
I think that's why Mike Timlin is up and throwing. And if Rodriguez does get on, we'll probably see Timlin and then Myers.
Good breaking ball for strike 1. Now Rivera cranks it up. Another good one. Strike 2. Making the choice of Arroyo even more interesting with Timlin getting loose. If he's available tonight, this is typically when Timlin would pitch in the 8th inning.
Ground ball pitcher, double play situation.
Arroyo's been a starter for most of the year. Just missed outside with a fastball. 2-2.
He missed by a lot. Normally, when a catcher crosses the plate like that, even though the pitch may be a strike, you don't get it.
You should. If he crosses the plate.
Veritek's talking to Joe West right now.
Now, the point is, if a catcher sets up inside on the inside corner and the fastball's on the outside corner, you're actually blocking the view of the umpire by bringing the mitt across the plate.
Rodriguez just got a piece.
I get your point. A strike is a strike, but umpires are fooled too.
Umpires used to carry out to wherever the catcher would set up. They would follow the catcher out. Here you see Joe West right on the inside corner. Yeah, Timmy, you're exactly right. The helmet blocked out Joe. There are many umpires today. If a catcher sets way up outside, they're exposed. They're still covering the plate.
Off the end of the bat. Arroyo. The ball gets loose. It's down the right field line. Jeter coming all the way around. It's a one-run game. And now we're going to have an argument as Francona comes out of the dugout.
He swatted the ball out of Arroyo's hand.
If it's in the process of running to first base, that's one thing. If he intentionally swatted it with one hand or one arm or the other.
Now the umpires for the second time tonight are going to get together and see if anyone else saw A-Rod swipe it out of the glove of Arroyo.
I think he's out.
He should be out.
Yeah. Because that is clearly, as Arroyo puts the ball in the glove, the left arm came down. No.
That's not, as you said, Tim, in the process of running. That's trying to knock the ball out.
Right. That's clearly with one purpose in mind, and that's to knock the ball out of the glove. If it's the normal running motion, you can get away with it, but that clearly was not.
Jeter came all the way around to score on that play. They put him back on base, and Rodriguez would be out. Jeter started the play at first base. And they're going to call him out.
He's out.
They got the call right again, and they're going to bring Jeter all the way back to first base. And this umpire crew, as this fan base for the Yankees throwing baseballs onto the field, this umpiring crew, this place is dangerous now. They're going to have to call the players off the field. Everybody's going to have to leave the field. Terry Francona is saying, I want to get my guys off the field. Alex Rodriguez is trying to plead his case, but he clearly knocked the ball out of the glove of Arroyo. Take a run off the board, put Jeter back at first. 2 out in the inning with Sheffield coming up. But this field is now a mess.
Alex Rodriguez swiped at the left arm of Bronson Arroyo, clearly to knock the ball out of his glove.
And when he was just making his point on the mound, I believe it was to Randy Marsh. He simulated the running style with the arms pumping, but that was not at all what happened.
No. See, this is not the normal running motion. That's clear. The umpire's got it right.
Absolutely.
That's it.
You could see the body of Minkiewicz blocked the first base umpire, Randy Marsh. So to take Randy Marsh, the crew chief, off the hook on the call, he couldn't see it. But it was Marsh who then made the call, and Rodriguez is called out. Jeter will have to go back to first. Minkiewicz and Arroyo were together there.
Right. I could understand the confusion on Randy Marsh's point. Because as you said, Minkiewicz was blocking Marsh, the first base umpire, from having a clear view. Maybe Joe West had the clearest view, or the right field umpire, Jeff Kellogg, or the second base umpire could have had a view that was better than Joe West. But I think Joe West was the guy who made the call because he had a clearer view, I think. Number one, you try to keep the ball in your bare hand. There's no way anybody's going to knock it out of your bare hand. But in the glove, you could see Minkiewicz between Randy Marsh and Rodriguez. All Marsh sees is the ball go down the right field line.
And to Francona's credit, when he came out to argue, as you look at the play from behind and the view that Marsh had, Francona came out very calmly and asked Joe West to come with him down to Randy Marsh and for the umpires to get together. Clearly, Francona saw it from his spot in the dugout, and the umpires call Rodriguez out on interference. And for the second time tonight, they've gotten together and made the proper call. I know when that ball was trickling down the right field line, Red Sox fans were thinking, here we go again. But as it stands, it's still a 4-2 game, and Sheffield was trying to tie it with one swing. 2 out in the inning because of this interference.
Watch Randy Marsh, the first base umpire. He's watching here, but here, A-Rod never touches the base. Randy Marsh calls safe. He never touches the base. He has not touched first base yet.
But he comes back on his way to second and touches it and then goes to second.
0-1 is the count on Arroyo as the Red Sox all left their positions while fans fired baseballs and debris down onto the field. Here's an 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 popped up left side, foul ball and out of play. One and 2 on Sheffield. Before the reversal of the call, it was a 4-3 game with Rodriguez standing at second. Sheffield coming up only 1 out in the inning. But after getting the call correct, it's Jeter at first, 2 out, 1 and 2 on Sheffield. And a pop-up in play. Veritek. Bronson Arroyo gets 3 precious outs. He gives up a run. It's 4-2 going into the 9th inning here at Yankee Stadium. We move to the top of the 9th inning. Bottom 3 in the order coming up. That means Veritek, Cabrera, and Bellhorn. And it's a 4-2 Boston lead. Trying to force Game 7 tomorrow night. In the process, trying to become the first team ever down 3-0 to force a Game 7. As it stands now, they're only the 3rd team in history to force even a Game 6. Veritek 2 out of 3, and he takes it inside, a ball and a strike.
That strange base running play by Alex Rodriguez is not without precedent. 5 years ago in '99, the Red Sox played the Yankees here. They lost in 10 innings on a home run by Bernie Williams to center field. And in the top of the 10th, Jose Offerman came across the bag. Actually, Offerman was the runner, and they didn't have control of the ball at second base. Clearly, the replay showed it. The Red Sox did not like it. Jimmy Williams was then the manager. And then in game 4, the Yankees traveled up to Boston, and Jose Offerman was the runner and was called out for going out of the baseline. Fenway faithful were very angry, throwing things onto the field and reminiscent of what happened tonight.
A ball and 2 strikes. Varitek first up. 2-2 from Quantrill. On the part of Alex Rodriguez, if you can do it and you can get away with it, why not? He's out anyway.
Otherwise, you're out, right?
Otherwise, it's an out. He took a shot at it. And Varitek is on to start the 9th inning. He's 3 out of 4 tonight. There's the move by Rodriguez, firing his left arm into the left forearm of Bronson Arroyo, knocking the ball out down the line, and he was called out for interference. Now it's Orlando Cabrera, and it's Keith Folk getting loose for Boston out in their bullpen.
A lot of ways Francona can go here. You can sacrifice. I know that sounds conservative, but one more run to the Red Sox. Quite a boost to the Red Sox chances of winning.
Cabrera rips it foul. Well, Terry Francona took Schilling out after 7. He brings in Bronson Arroyo. Arroyo gives up a double and a single, but maintains the lead. It's a 4-2 game. Mel Stottlemyre is out to talk as the fans in the upper deck throw that souvenir back. And Tim, I know as Loaiza gets loose, I know you have been impressed with the managing of Terry Francona in this series, especially backed up with really nowhere else to turn and treating at times the 7th and 8th innings like they were the 9th inning and that was all that was left. And he has really made a lot of shrewd moves.
He's seems like all he's gotten is criticism around Boston. Does not sit real well with Terry.
I mean, I think it's a gutsy move to take Schilling out the way he's rolling.
Right. Well, bringing Folk in the other day in game 4 in the 7th inning, he told us what he was going to do before the game started and did exactly what he told us. They won it in 12 innings. They won last night in 14 and leading here in the 9th.
Now you can look at what David Ortiz has done with the bat for the Boston Red Sox and call him their MVP, but I think a close second is what Keith Folk has done to this point.
There's no doubt. Well, I wouldn't say no doubt, the offense that Ortiz has shown, but for him to pitch as many innings as a closer in each of these games, 3 innings in one, 2 innings in another. I know this is the end of the line. Boys, you're going home. If you lose, you have 5 months off until spring training, pitchers and catchers, and you do what you have to do.
But you know certainly better than I do. It's one thing to understand that, and then it's another to go out there and do it and slow down as Folk did the other night, a Yankee offense that was rolling.
A team as a whole. Wakefield comes up to Francona in his cleats, and he was the starting pitcher for the next day and said, if you need me, I'll pitch. He gave up his start. There's a lot of guys on that Red Sox team with that team attitude.
Cabrera stays up there at 1-2. And as it stands right now, Wakefield is in line for a Game 7 start tomorrow night, if there is a Game 7.
Seems like baseball, more than any other sport, is concerned with the move of the manager instead of the performance of the player. You're a manager and you bring in a pitcher, get him out. If you don't blame me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 on, nobody out, and Quantrill steps off. Loaiza was the losing pitcher in last night's 14-inning affair, but he lost predominantly because of walks. He was throwing the heck out of the ball, and he's the right-hander getting loose right now, along with Tanyon Sturtz out in the Yankee pen. Cairo flips for 1, safe. Cairo a little trouble getting rid of it, and that delay allowed Cabrera to get down to first.
Those infielders' gloves are smaller for a reason, so infielders can get the ball out of there quickly. The ball hangs up a bit, and because of that, Cabrera beats the throw. Boy, it was close. Very close.
More stuff being thrown onto the field after that call. And it's 1-on-1 out for Bellhorn, who is the hitting hero. And now the umpires are going to get together, and you wonder if they're going to make an announcement or pull the Red Sox into their dugout, pull the Yankees off the field. Because right now it's dangerous every time a call is made. Now Joe Torre comes out of the dugout once John Hirschbeck and Joe West got together, and Joe Torre is going to make a pitching change. It's an upset crowd here at Yankee Stadium, with the Red Sox leading 4-2 in the ninth. Well, as we were going to break, they made the announcement to this crowd. That's Kevin Hallinan, who is the head of security for Major League Baseball. Randy Marsh, the crew chief, went over to talk to him. And because of all of the debris, a lot of baseballs coming out of this crowd at Yankee Stadium, I think worrying for their own safety, the umpires had the announcements made. There've been a couple of them, and now it's Joe West talking to a police officer about this situation, because it a couple of different times has been dangerous out on that field. It all started not just the home run down the left field line. It was hit by Bellhorn. But we give you our play of the game, brought to you by Sharp Aquos Liquid Crystal Television. There's always more to see. It was that play by Rodriguez, intentionally batting the ball and knocking the arm of Arroyo to knock the ball out of the glove. Rodriguez originally ruled safe, then was called out for interference. They brought Jeter, who had come all the way around to score, back to first base. Sheffield popped up, and it's 4-2 as we have now completed 8 innings, now with 1-on-1 out. There's got to be some specific situation that's going on as well with the kind of security personnel that are down on the field. Hallinan, Sandy Alderson is there, and Joe Torre, who made the change while all of that was going on, wants to go out and check with Joe West to see what's going on. But they keep pointing to something. They've been pointing at something down the left side, and now they're pointing out at something on the right side up in the seats. And they're taking police officers who have riot gear on and planting them down each line to make sure that fans don't jump over and create an incident. So this is at the behest of the umpires, talking to Kevin Hallinan and then to the law enforcement in place, and now they're bringing out police in riot gear to line the stands down the right side and the left side.
Now you think about this situation, and the ground rules change. What if a fielder in the process of trying to catch a foul ball or a ball hits on the bag? We've seen balls hit the tarp on either side.
So we're going to play baseball with these police officers on the field. Some members of Major League Baseball still have to get off the field. They make their way literally off the field of play. A throw is over to first base, and the runner Cabrera is back ahead of the tag by Clark. Tanyan Sturtz is in the game. Bellhorn is at the plate. And another check on the runner. That was close. And the crowd gets on Randy Marsh again. He was safe. And just to bring it up again, Al, you've seen it during your playing career. There's been a fundamental change with how these umpires deal with disputed calls, and I would say it's happened over the last 4 or 5 years, where it's been at least a lot more noticeable as Bellhorn takes a ball outside, where umpires before used to say, I had to look at it, I'm the one that had the best shot at it, it's my call. And now they get together, if somebody saw something, they'll change the call.
And I don't know when that's changed. I don't know whether it was a coordination of now not having American League umpires, National League umpires. They are now just Major League umpires. But yes, that is true.
Cabrera starts and stops on a strike to Bellhorn.
They coordinate much better than they ever had. And you're exactly right, Joe. There was many instances where every other umpire saw it one way, and that one umpire would not change his opinion.
And without that change, in this game specifically, Bellhorn would not have been credited with a home run to left. And who knows what would have happened in the bottom of the 8th on that play with Rodriguez knocking the ball from Bronson Arroyo.
I commend them. It's about getting it right.
One ball, one strike on Bellhorn. Two and one from Sturtz. Sturtz pitching for the 3rd day in a row. What an odd feeling to watch baseball as Cabrera takes off, and no throw by Posada. It's strike 2 on Bellhorn. The police officers down the lines. The crowd right now really not making much noise. Everybody's standing. It's got an eerie feeling here in the 9th inning at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, the significance and importance of the game is almost distorted now under these circumstances.
An important stolen base for Cabrera. That's his first of the postseason. Now Bellhorn takes ball 3. 3-2. In the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be Matsui, Bernie Williams, and Posada. The Yankees will be trailing by at least 2. The Red Sox try to force Game 7. Inside again on Bellhorn. He had a better swing. It's still full. Quantrill, while he was in there, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits. He's responsible for the runner on. Bellhorn walks, and it's 2 on, 1 out. With a lot of baseball left to be played here, and Pokey Reese is going to come off the bench and run for Bellhorn and then stay in and add to the Red Sox defense in the ninth. He'll take over at second base. Much better feeling for Bellhorn to head off the field tonight with that 3-run home run. He draws a walk here. It's 2 on, 1 out. And we look ahead to a potential Game 7 tomorrow night, which would be at 8 Eastern following Game 6 of the Astros and Cardinals. Damon takes high, ball 1.
We talked about Terry Francona the last inning and talking about Mark Bellhorn at the press conference 2 days ago. The written media in Boston just crying for Pokey Reese to start, as the fans were. And Terry Francona said, obviously, we have a higher opinion of Mark Bellhorn than you people do, and we're going to stick with him. And Mark Bellhorn with a 3-run home run tonight.
82 RBIs during the regular season, 17 home runs. And the RBIs tonight, his first of this postseason. With 2 on, 1 out. Another one high from Sturtz. 2-0. If there is a Game 7 tomorrow night, the Yankees in their postseason history have a 2-3 record here in a Game 7. The last win was last year over the Red Sox. Jeter, 2 out. So Damon misses a chance, and now it'll be Miller. And you look throughout the Red Sox history since 1946 and how close they have come. The 46 World Series, losing 7 games to the Cardinals as they did in 67. 1975 lost in 7 games in the World Series to the Reds. 86 to the Mets. And then 2003 the ALCS in 7 games to the Yankees. Miller grounds it foul. Miller hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out 3 times. Folk is already loose. He was warming up, and he is ready to go. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1 to Miller. Like a little kid sitting there getting ready to come in.
I was thinking the same thing.
About to throw the most important pitches of his career. 2 on, 2 out. Miller could make it easier on him. 2-1.
It was Roy Campanella who said you got to have a lot of little boy in you to play baseball, and we just had a shot of that.
So with the police lining the field, we play on in the 9th inning. 4-2 Boston. Here's a 2-1. Miller pops it up. Jeter says he has it. Wynn plays with it, and the inning is over. Red Sox strand 2. They've left 7. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Yankees. Bottom of the 9th. Game 6. 4-2 Boston. One change we knew about was Pokey Reese after pinch running for Bellhorn is in the game at second base. The other we knew was Keith Folk. His last 16 appearances, regular season and postseason, a 3-1 record against the Yankees, 5 for 5 in save opportunities, and an ERA of 0.86. Police officers exiting the field. but right there in the front. In case they're needed, hopefully they won't be. First pitch is a strike to Matsui. Keith Foulke, day after day after day. Game 4, 2 2/3 innings. Game 5, an inning and a third. Now working for the third consecutive day, trying to save Game 6. Protecting a 2-run lead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Will those ghosts reappear for the Yankees, or will the Red Sox become the first team down 3-0? Will the Red Sox become the first team to force Game 7? Trying to drill that outside corner. Foulke hit it. It's 2-2. That is foul. Veritek trying to pounce on it before it checked back foul.
Yeah, you're thinking on a ball like that, you almost try to push it fair. Put your body between the umpire and the ball in the hopes of having him call it fair, but it was foul.
And we know by now this group would have gotten together and gotten the call right.
That's exactly right.
Full count. El Duque getting loose. A leadoff walk.
It's as bad as a home run. You're in the 9th inning. You're trailing by 2. If Matsui had hit that ball out, it's the same thing.
Bernie Williams, the all-time career postseason home run leader, with 1 tonight. Digs in. And takes a strike. Back in the 7th. The only run tonight during 7 masterful innings from Curt Schilling. A tremendous performance by one of the game's great pitchers. But it's now Foulke and Bernie Williams. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. One out. The Red Sox 2 outs away.
A great changeup from Keith Folk.
The clock strikes midnight as Bernie Williams chases that changeup. Posada takes a strike, and it's been away, away, away to each left-handed hitter in this ninth inning.
Yeah, that's the one thing that the walk does. It brings the potential tying run to the plate. And that prevents you from pitching inside. You have to stay away. They're going to hit it out, make them hit it out the other way.
2 strikes on Posada.
Which is generally a closer's mentality. Most closers live away. You look through the history of closers, it's pretty much away, away, away. This matchup here with Posada, who is not as good an off-speed hitter, a very good fastball hitter, short porch and right, very good changeup on Falk. This is a great matchup for Falk. And history shows it. He's batting 105 lifetime.
Ball 1. Showing Posada a fastball up and out of the strike zone. Off the hands, he came inside in a pop-up. Miller is out. 2 out in the ninth inning.
Throwing all those pitches away, change-ups and fastballs, opens up the inside part of the plate. You get a guy leaning, Veritek inside, and Posada is jammed. And the Red Sox get a precious second out. See that ball making contact on the trademark. Good sequence of pitching by Folk and Veritek.
And now the man who tied Game 4 of the division series at Minnesota with a huge 3-run home run to help the Yankees clinch that series that day in extra innings. Digs in Ruben Sierra. They play behind Matsui at first. 2 out. Ball 1. Right on the corner, 1-1. Veritek tried to pull it back in, 2-1. Just outside, 3-1. Folk thought he had strike 2.
So did Veritek. Whenever Veritek looks back at the home plate umpire, he wants that pitch. Watch. Right there. Where was it? Joe West said it was low or outside.
And you can't blame Veritek and Folk for expecting the count to be 2-2 instead of 3-1.
That's true.
Well, early in the game, Schilling had a 2-0 fastball that was high that Sierra thought was a ball. Joe West called it a strike. The pitch before that changeup that Joe West apparently called down was the same high fastball that he called a ball.
So now the count, 3 balls and a strike. Sierra could tie it with a home run. Full count, and Folk came right after him with a 3-1 fastball. 2 out. Matsui will go from first, but the Red Sox only care about Ruben Sierra. Fouled back here. Another 3-2 pitch from Folk. Trying to save it. 2 on, 2 out. And Tony Clark is coming up. Now the Yankees are 1 swing away with a long ball from Clark from ending this series and going on to the World Series. 2 walks in the inning. Clark, the winning run at the plate.
The outfielders of the Red Sox playing about 4 to 5 feet deeper than they would normally play. A no doubles defense in the outfield.
Ball 1. Clark is only in there because of the foot injury suffered by John Olerud in Game 3. He would be an unlikely hero. Two and 0. Two and 1.
Well, you have to be wondering what Tony Clark was looking for.
Two and 2. Clark during the regular season 16 home runs. He has 1 RBI this postseason. He's 3 out of 19. Again, the Red Sox are 1 strike away from becoming the first team ever down 3 games to none in postseason history to force a Game 7. The Yankees are 1 swing away potentially from winning it. Full count.
That's a big pitch right there, because now on a 3-2 count, 2 out, Sierra will be running from first base, and his is the run that would tie.
Runners go. Red Sox force Game 7. A tremendous pitching performance by Schilling, Arroyo, and Keith Folk, who does it again.
Woo! Gotta make it interesting.
And why wouldn't this rematch of last year's ALCS. Last 7 games. The Yankees had a chokehold on this series, up 3-0. The Red Sox have won 3 straight. Terry Francona made the moves. Curt Schilling got it going. He was brilliant tonight. And Kenny Albert is with Curt Schilling right now.
Well, Joe, a tremendous performance tonight here in Game 6 by Curt Schilling. Curt, first of all, how'd the ankle feel out there?
It's all right. It's all right. I got to say, I became a Christian 7 years ago, and I have never in my life been touched by God like I was tonight. Tonight was, I tried to go out and do it myself in Game 1, and I showed it. You saw what happened tonight. Tonight was God's work tonight on that mound tonight, no question.
Did you want to go back out there for the 8th inning? What did Terry Francona and Dave Wallace say to you?
I had had enough. I was struggling from about the 4th inning on, and you know, we got a lead. We made some mistakes to hit them right at people.
After what happened in Game 1, how disappointing would it have been for you had you not gotten this opportunity to pitch again in this series?
It would have been disappointing for everybody. I mean, I went out there in Game 1 and didn't get it done, but these guys, I'm so proud of these guys. This is unbelievable.
First team in baseball history to force a Game 7 after trailing 3-0. What do you expect in this wild series tomorrow with Tim Wakefield on the mound?
An incredible game, but there's no reason we can't do it. We just finished doing something that's never been done. There's no reason we can't go out and do that tomorrow.
All right, Curt, great effort. Congratulations. Curt Schilling, back up to Joe.
Thank you, Kenny, and thanks for being with us tonight. Curt Schilling goes 7, allows 1 run on 4 hits. I bet he would have a tough time convincing the Yankees he was struggling from the 4th inning on. Let's go back down to Kenny Albert for more.
All right, and about 10 seconds ago, a big hug. Terry Francona, you and Curt Schilling pitched for you all those years in Philly, and what a performance tonight by Curt. Talk about that.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's seen what kind of pitcher he is, but he pitched tonight on heart. I mean, he went out there and competed and stayed out there and gave us what we needed, and it was awesome.
How about the decision to take him out after 7?
We were actually thinking about it after 5. He was starting to struggle a little bit. We were going inning to inning, and you could tell when he came off the field, he was done.
Now, you told us before the game you would most likely start Tim Wakefield in a potential Game 7. Is that still the case?
No, we're going to go in there and talk about it. Derek Lowe probably has more in the tank than Wake, but we'll go in and we didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we're 2 minutes after the game. We'll go in and talk about it. It's probably going to be D-Lo.
All right, Terry, see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Terry Francona, Red Sox manager, Game 7 tomorrow. Joe.
All right, so thanks, Kenny. There's some news for you. Because Derek Lowe wasn't used tonight, and again, we talked about it during the game, Schilling giving the Red Sox not only effective innings, but 7 innings, and all Terry Francona had to use was Bronson Arroyo for the 8th, Keith Folk for the 9th, and Folk has been amazing for the Red Sox in this ALCS. There's your final. Game 7 tomorrow night. It has been like a heavyweight fight the first 6 games of this series. And it only seems right that we'll have one more night to watch the Yankees and the Red Sox battle. We hope you join us tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. For Tim McCarver, Al Leiter, Kenny Albert, I'm Joe Buck. We say so long from New York. Jeannie Zelasco will be along in the Fox Television Center with more after this. Another great night of baseball. More heart-pounding baseball. And one more night to go tomorrow night.